all right. Positive energy all the time. Here we go. Hope you all having a great day. Well, it's going to be a busy weekend. It's going to be a busy week. And here we go. I'm trying to bring this news to you as fast as I possibly can. First thing I want to do is give you all a warning. Stay home as much as possible. Make sure you have food, water, backup lighting equipment, a generator if possible, a power station if possible. All the precautions that we talk about a lot on this channel, just in case there's some lone wolves in this country or some people that just get emotional over the situation. This could be looked at as far as between countries. There's also certain religious aspects. I'm not saying that these things will happen. I am not asking you to start promoting panic. Okay? I'm just saying be careful, and it's probably not a great time to hang out. Your decision. Terrorism precautions focus on vigilance, situational awareness, and emergency preparedness to minimize risk. Key actions include identifying exit routes, reporting suspicious behavior. If you see something, say something. Avoiding large, unmonitored crowds, and having a family communication plan. During an incident, leave the area immediately or hide and follow law enforcement instructions. General precautions and awareness, situational awareness, be aware of your surroundings, especially in high-profile public places, transit hubs, tourist spots, and hotels. Suspicious activity, watch for unattended bags, unusual behavior, or someone wearing inappropriate clothing for the weather, like a heavy coat in the summer. Emergency planning, know the emergency exits and evacuation routes in buildings you visit, including hotels and workplaces. Information security, avoid oversharing personal information on social media that could be used for targeting. Please do not come over with your personal hang-ups. Don't put your personal feelings in it. Avoid unnecessary religious comments, and just stick with the news the way I'm presenting it. We can discuss the news, but avoid insults and anything that could make you a target. While traveling, keep updated, monitor local news and U.S. Department of State travel advisories, secure your documents, keep passports and sensitive documents in a safe place, low profile, avoid appearing as a high profile tourist, dress similar to locals. During an incident, run, hide, fight. If safe, evacuate immediately. If not, hide in a secure, locked, or barricaded area. As a last resort, defend yourself. Emergency contact, keep your phone charged and know local emergency numbers. Okay? Police response. When authorities arrive, keep your hands visible. Follow instructions and do not make sudden movements. Physical safety measures, shelter in place. If advised, stay indoors, lock doors, and turn off air conditioning systems to prevent chemical and biological agents from entering. Report packages. Do not handle, smell, or open suspicious packages. For the latest up-to-date information, monitor the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's National Terrorism Advisory System. Okay? Got it? Okay. Also, if you see any news while we're live on this news channel, if you see any updates about anything with discussion, please help by posting news updates in the chat. Okay? So if something happens while we're discussing this, let us know. This whole channel is the news, including the chat. Okay? We updating the whole, the way we doing news is big time. We're doing big time news over here. Pharaoh said that the chat is also news reporters. So if you got your TV on or your radio or you're looking on your phone and you see something, we'll all let each other know what's going on because I can't see what's going on while I'm talking to you. So chat, post updates in the chat. We are going to be the most informative live stream on YouTube. Okay. So now that we have that out the way, I guess we could start from the beginning. President Donald Trump launched Operation Epic Fury on Saturday morning, eliminating Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, as well as dozens of other senior Iranian leaders, including the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. The joint military operation is expected to carry on for days. I repeat, for days. Officials report that Israel is targeting Iranian leadership, while the U.S. is targeting military targets and ballistic missile sites that pose an imminent threat. Trump warned on Sunday against Iranian retaliation over the U.S. and Israel strikes. He said that if Iran were to hit very hard, they would be met with a force that has never been seen before. They would be met with a force that has never been seen before. Let's just start there. So a lot is going on. A lot. U.S. military says 3 service members have been unalived, 5 wounded in Iran operation. Once again, U.S. military says 3 service members have been unalived and 5 have been wounded in Iran operation. 3 American service members have been killed and 5 have been seriously wounded in military operations targeting Iran. The U.S. military said U.S. Central Command said Sunday in a post on X that several others sustained minor, sharp injuries and concussions and are in the process of being returned to duty. Iran vowed revenge Sunday after the killing of the supreme leader and traded strikes with Israel as part of a widening war prompted by a surprise U.S. and Israeli bombardment a day earlier. U.S. Central Command says 3 U.S. service members have been killed in action as part of the Trump administration's Operation Epic Fury in Iran. The command announced the deaths on Sunday, noting that 5 other service members were seriously wounded and that several others had sustained minor shrapnel injuries and concussion. Those service members are in the process of being returned to duty. Also, there's an update. 9 Israelis unalived, 11 missing, dozens injured after Iranian missile hits Beit Shemesh building. At least 4 apartment buildings destroyed. Missile reportedly penetrated local shelter. Several children reported wounded. Second impact registered in central Israel. And so there has been serious retaliation. And it is definitely nothing to what they would say shake a stick at. There will be several countries involved with this situation. Most big countries like Iran have allies And especially religious countries have religious allies. Some will turn this into Christianity versus Islam. And so it's very serious. It's very serious. Avoid people that get in the chat, fan and flames, mods. Uh, be on high alert. Anybody off subject or trying to provoke an argument, put them on timeout until tomorrow. We don't need any energy that is hostile, and we don't need any information that's not concerning the matter. We're not really interested in personal feelings or anything like that unless it's concerning the matter. Of course, if you have personal questions and you want to talk about you personally dealing with this, that's great. But the one thing is this. Um, when you have a situation like this, you're in it whether you want to be in it or not. And it's what a lot of people. You're going to see a few men come over here that doesn't sink in. They tend to believe because they're mentally not in it that they can avoid a terrorist attack. Like the bombs know your beliefs. Like the terrorists know you're in a building and know your beliefs. Right? So some people, I don't want to waste a lot of time while you all are watching. I might do another live stream to address that. But don't pay attention to people that seem to not understand that their personal beliefs does not make them immune to the attacks. You see? Because they're not really thinking that if you are in the United States, regardless of your feelings, you are a possible target. Because those that want to attack the U.S. don't know you. You might be a devout Muslim and you might be supporting them, but if you're in a grocery store and they hit it, how are they supposed to know that you support them? And so I'm trying to bring you some serious intelligence, not no emotional outbursts. I'm talking to you from a news and a military minded point of view. And when you live somewhere and that government goes to war, you're in the war. Your belief system does not exclude you, from the war. You know what I'm saying? Your belief system will not exclude you from the war. I'm just, what do you want me to say? And so I'm in it. I'm in it like Bennett. Yeah, I'm in the war. I live in Chicago. End of story. Chicago is definitely a predominant target. I might get on the bus. I might get on the train. I might go in a grocery store. You understand? For those that watch me, I try to give you a smooth, level-headed conversation. I don't do weirdo emotional outrage. I'm here to report the news, and the news is always flowing, right? So the news is just the news. And whatever happens in the news, I'll be here reporting it. Now, I don't have a crystal ball to tell you what the news is going to be. I'm not going to project anything. I'm not going to speculate anything. I'm going to be 100% professional, right? Because I got viewers, and it's very immature and childish to speculate when I'm talking to my subscribers. I want my subscribers to live in the now. You must always, in these situations, be cautious. Don't listen to anybody on social media that blows this off. Okay? They're uninformed and immature and not well educated. Because anybody that's well educated and well informed knows that America just attacked an Islamic state. And you know what comes with that. So this is very serious. This is very serious. We live in the United States, and people in the United States is from all over the world, you know? And so, especially for foundational Black Americans, do not listen to anybody who say this is not our war. Because it don't have to be your war for you to get hurt in a grocery store. Okay? Anybody that says that is slow. Okay? All right? So do not listen to foundational Black Americans or no Black person that tells you this is not our war. They are slow. Okay? They're slow. All right? Emotional and slow. They slow like a turtle riding on a snail. You know, if Black man, if you come over here saying this is not our war, you are slow like a turtle trying to go somewhere on a snail and got to be there in 20 minutes. You ain't gonna get there. Okay, you don't have it all. You understand? You're slow. Now, I'm not doing slow responses today. But I'm not trying to disrespect anybody to do sign language, but I'm just saying. I'm not doing that today, okay? Do you hear me? Okay? I'm not doing that today. Not today. Go take your slow self and sit down somewhere, okay? Go sit down. This is highly intelligent conversations over here. And you don't blow nothing like this off. And this is international. I'll give you an example. You live in a neighborhood. You're not in a gang, but there's a gang in your neighborhood. And that gang in your neighborhood goes and attacks another gang in another neighborhood. Do you believe that because you're not in that gang, you're safe? And you don't believe bullets could fly in your window or through your car window while they're shooting at them? You don't believe you could be a mistaken identity? Let me tell you something. When the block is hot, the block is hot. I'm going to repeat. When the block is hot, the block is hot. United States is the block, and it's hot. And it's hotter than any of you have ever seen it. I would say it's hotter than I've ever seen it. I think America is hotter than I ever seen it in a situation where we knew it was hot. We've been hot but didn't know it, you know? This time, under this situation, we know it's hot. You have never seen anything like this. In your lifetime, because I haven't. From you've never seen anything like this. I've seen Iran take hostages, U.S. hostages, but I've seen the war in Iraq, but Iraq fought the war, right? I've seen the war against Iraq, but Iraq didn't function like Iran. You understand? Yeah, I don't really. Yeah. Yeah, not today. Yeah, come back tomorrow. Yeah, come back tomorrow. Hold that thought. Come back tomorrow. You're going to see a lot of emotions. Do not. You see these people typing all. Do not. Don't engage them. Okay. Don't engage anyone that's kind of tripping around. Don't engage them. Do I think Saudi Arabia will actually get involved? Yes. Iran will force them to get involved because Iran is shooting missiles too close to the Saudis. So the Saudis will get involved based on their own self-defense. Their attitude would be like, if Iran becomes a threat to Saudi Arabia, then Saudi Arabia will respond. And from my point of view with Iran, I don't think that would be too smart unless they can see where the Saudis is helping U.S. already. Uh, so Iran is in a bad situation with the Saudis and Egypt. The Saudis and Egypt are allies with the U.S. So Iran is in a bad situation because other countries, they're not doing fanatical religion, they're doing business. Iran, in my personal opinion, they're going to let religion destroy their country, in my opinion. I think their past leader was too old. He was outdated. You know, he was outdated. Russia will not get in this. Now they will sell them weapons, but Russia minds Russia's business. Russia doesn't jump in. Russia and China does not jump in wars. There is a honor between Russia, America, and China. They will supply weapons like America did for the Ukraine a little bit, but they will not get physically involved. You got to fight your own fight. And that's why America would not go in there and help the Ukraine against Russia. They wouldn't do that. So I don't see China or Russia getting involved with this. I personally feel like most countries around the world feel Iran is too volatile, too too much religion, not enough business, not enough international hospitality. Okay, so I don't know. I just think Iran haven't been running their country correctly. Iran went to war with Iraq. You know what I'm saying? You can be under you can still be under religious leadership. You just can't be fanatical. You can't. India is under religious, and India and Pakistan is fighting like cats and dogs because sometimes when people have a religion, they don't know how to act. Religion is a lot of times negative because some type of way you try to tie in the fact that you love God in with fighting somebody that looks at God differently, which is, come on. I mean, they've been over here since you know, You know, as Foundation Black America, we have Black Americans here in America that's going to be all caught up into this religiously. And some of them going to make a mistake and they're going to get their door kicked down by the feds. They're going to make a mistake. They're going to get too high on their religion because they're Muslims. They're going to get on social media. They're going to type the wrong thing. And the U.S. government going to kick their door in and arrest them. And lock them up for a long time. Because they let their religious feelings like not mixed with social. I've been over here and people been talking about people been calling America my leaders, your leaders. It's all kind of weirdo stuff. And I'm just a black man in Chicago trying to pay my bills. I have no emotional ties to the United States. Some of them is just totally unintelligent. They want to know if I support the United States when I'm in the United States, and do I support somebody not blowing up the United States and I'm in the United States? Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. That somebody feels like because I'm black, I shouldn't care if Chicago get blowed up. Because some kind of way, I'm going to be in the black section, I guess. I don't know. You black, it's not our war. Any war where bombs and explosions can happen where you're at, you're in it. You might not be voluntarily in it, but you're in it. Black Americans, we're definitely in the war because we are on the enemy territory. That is a target. You're a target. Regardless that you want to be on social media weirdo typing, you can type till you turn blue. You're a target. If it's some type of terrorist attack in the store and you in the store, what? So somebody say you support the U.S. Duh. Listen, somebody's on American social media, right, supporting YouTube, supporting Google, supporting Instagram, supporting Facebook, saying that I'm American, I'm supporting America, and you're on American social media. Make that make some sense. You're trying to deny your attachment to America while you're trolling with your American phone, using American electricity. What's my advice to give to people living in Silicon Valley? They got, what you mean? They're in the United States. They're not in Silicon Valley. Ain't Silicon Valley in the United States? Okay. Same advice I gave at the beginning. Be vigilant. Keep your head on a swivel. Now, somebody said, would I send my sons to war? If my life was in danger, yeah. Duh. If I was in danger of getting blown up in Chicago, would I go fight and say yes, yes, yes? Would I fight to stay alive? Yes. Duh. Would I fight for America? Absolutely. At 68, absolutely. If it was my life at stake, yes. Duh. And so we have people that believe that their mental state takes them out of their location where they live at. They believe that they can mentally not be in America in their mind and avoid any attacks in America because your mind is usually radical. You radical, sabbatical, political, you know? Right then I know you ain't built like that. You understand? Nobody's going to try to get you because you don't represent the United States, and they're not going to target no individual, but if you say so. Please post something intelligent, okay? All right? Uh, I didn't say anything about being patriotic. I said I would fight before I let somebody unalive me. So you got to, you see? You know what I'm saying? I said, if somebody trying to blow up America, yes, I would fight to stay alive, right? That's not patriotic. That's survival. What's patriotic about that? How is that patriotic? Because I'm on a piece of land and somebody might want to attack that piece of land and I'm willing to fight to stay alive and keep my family alive. How's that? How is that patriotic? What does that got to do with being patriotic? You say you're American, but you say she might try to get you, which you're taking a personal thing, and now you're trying to act like you talking on behalf of being an American when you was really making a goofy joke about a girlfriend. Okay, listen, no, I'm not doing today. I'm just not. Step your knowledge up, come over here, mature, and we good. But I'm not. I'm not today. I'm not. I'm not gonna let anybody lower the intelligence of my chat. There's a bunch of bozo chats you can go to. You know what I'm saying? That tolerate that. Come over here. We trying to be on some high intellectual over here. Trying to. We're not trying to do no circus acts over here. I take it as an insult when you see people having an intelligent conversation and you come with the. You know what I'm saying? Like a saboteur trying to sabotage intelligence. And you see I'm black, so why are you trying to lower my standard over here? Go on some white person's page and lower their standard. Then you want to turn around and talk all this black stuff while trying to lower the standards over here. Did Russia make a statement? I don't know yet. Typically, Russia won't say anything. The only thing I know Russia said is last week, Putin told all the Russians, come home. So Putin is trying to make sure all the Russians is in Russia where they could be protected in Russia and don't get caught up. He probably didn't want Russians to get caught up into this because he told all the Russians, come home. Who remembers that last week? He said, come home. He made a call to Russians all over the world to come home. because he doesn't want Russians to get hurt, and then they got to be in it because they got to defend their citizens. So he wants to make sure his citizens is in Russia. So if you don't attack Russia, it won't be none of Russia's business. None of their people will get hurt. Putin don't just. A lot of these world leaders, they not like some of the goofies on social media. They're very reserved with whatever. Russia's already got issues with the Ukraine, so Russia is not interested. And Russia's not interested in stretching itself too far. They just want the Ukraine, the territory that's next to Russia, to save the Russians in the Donbass area. That's it. They're not going to spread themselves too thin and get involved with all type of stuff like that. Most world leaders would care less about Iran. They would say Iran dug its hole and got to get in it. Iran, I wouldn't want to criticize Iran, but if they watch this, I would want to give them advice. They got to change the way they're functioning. They got to understand you live on a planet with a bunch of other people, and you got to function in a way where you can still kind of do what you want to do, but it can't be so aggressive. You know, once Iran unalived 7,000 of their own citizens, they don't have any world respect. Would you respect America if they just went out here and just shot 7,000 Americans? Or Russia or China just did that like straight out like that? That was the mistake right there. They've got hundreds of thousands of Iranians that don't like their own government. You unalive their family members. If you unalive 7,000 people, how many family members do 7,000 people have? Somebody give me an estimate. Put it in the chat. If you unalive 7,000 people, how many family members are connected to 77,000 people? What y'all think? How many people that's still here that was their family members? Got to be 100,000 or so, maybe even millions. I'm just saying, you can't. What about their relatives? What if that was my mother, or my uncle, or my daddy, or my cousin, my sister, my aunt? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the heck? That was a mistake. No matter what happens to them, they will be considered to have made a barbarian move. They will get no respect globally. They lost our respect globally. Nobody got no respect for them. And you did that in the name of God, of a God? You did that in the name of Allah? Are you see what I'm saying? They did that in the name of Allah. Let that sink in. It's definitely genocide. That's like genocide, bro. You did that in the name of your religion. You damaged the religion. And look, if you damage the religion and you got other religions, they're going to use that against you. So when you say, well, the Israelis did it to the Palestinians would be like, they under the same Allah you was under. They was a threat. See what I'm saying? Like, like what? Like you make Muslims look like terrorists. Like, you know what I'm saying? And radical Islam is a threat. Like everybody's like, oh, that's radical Islam. Oh no, they gotta go. That's what that is? Oh no. But people don't know no better. So every time they see somebody wrapped up in them cloths and them long beards like that, they're gonna be like, get rid of them. That was the old guy. I don't know what to say about him. I don't know. I don't know what to say about him. But for sure, that was like a huge mistake right there. Seriously. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know. I I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know. He might have been senile. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. I think he just was outdated. You know, I don't know. He was just maybe out of touch from the old world, trying to keep things like the old world. And then at that age, he's got handlers, no telling what they was on. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know. But they won't get any sympathy in this war. They're not getting no sympathy because they try to make it like people hating Iran and the Iranians didn't kill Iranians. They unalived Iranians. Like they unalived Iranians. Make that make some sense. How you going to say you standing up for Iranians when you unalive 7,000 Iranians? Everybody going to be like, what do you mean you love Iran? What do you mean you love your country? You know what I'm saying? Make that make some sense. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't. No, it absolutely doesn't. All those different type of belief systems are not really good to run a country. Country needs security, food, clothing, running water, housing, an economy, jobs, relationships, babies. The women got to have babies. You want families and things like that. Some feel that certain degradation could ruin the country. I could see that. I could see where you don't want to have a situation where the men ain't with the women and you ain't reproducing. I could see that. I don't look at that as necessarily religious. I look at that as definitely detrimental to any country if you start practicing things that's not going to create a population. Then you're selfish because you were born, but now you denying somebody else to be born. That's in the eyes of any type of God or any type of righteousness, you would be looked at as selfish because what you're practicing, if your parents would have practiced that, you wouldn't be here to practice what you practice. So I can't see how some, what I would call evil practices have creeped into society. I can't see them as righteous practices because what is it? What is it? What kind of fruit does it bear? None. It doesn't bear any fruit. It's genocide. So I can see that. But I wouldn't go out there and just shoot them. That would be fanatical. I would try to figure out some type of way I can offset it, encourage more marriage, encourage more heterosexuals to have more babies, maybe give incentives or money so we can keep the population and sustain until the other ones die off, because that's not going to happen to them. They're going to die off. Basically, I mean, we're going to get to the day where we're going to see regrets on that pretty soon. We're going to see a bunch of older people saying, I don't have nothing. I didn't have no children. I had nothing. Not just me. I don't have nothing. I'm not leaving nothing behind. I bought a house. I don't even have nobody to leave it to. Did all this work for nothing. Because I have no inheritance. So what are you doing? Make that make some sense. But to each his own. I wouldn't unalive people unless they was like some type of physical threat or something. Or had some type of plague where we'd have to separate you and do something for we all pass away, something like that. But I wouldn't, people protesting that they don't like the way the government is. He should have met with them. If he's really a leader, he should have told them, send me 20 of your representatives and I will talk to them. That's what he should have did. If he had any type of compassion. I doubt if he ran anything. When I look at this picture, he doesn't look like he was running nothing to me. He looks like he was just a figurehead. From looking at this picture and looking at that stare on his face and how he's sitting there, I don't believe he ran nothing for the last 15 or 20 years. He didn't run nothing. He looked like he ran that country. Not to me. He looked like he was a figurehead. He just don't look, look at his glade, look at his eyes and how he's looking. He looks like he was propped up for that picture. It doesn't even look like he's taking that picture on his own. No, do it. It don't look like he's taking that picture on his own. It looked like they sat him up there and took that picture with that flag behind him. Somebody else been running that country. That man ain't ran that country. I've seen some of his speeches and he wasn't saying nothing. It's just like they just stood him up there. There's a video of him saying he didn't want to leave. I believe it. It's some fanatical nut behind him. I tell you that. Some nut, some warmonger behind him. Just like a lot of them people behind Trump. Trump's there a little bit, though. That's the only difference. But he ain't calling all the shots either. Mm-mm. There's manipulation going on in the White House. For sure. Sometimes you look at him when he be signing them papers, look at all them people standing behind him, looking down on him while he's signing. That always trips me out. Like, who the hell is they? It's like he's signing it for them. Don't ever look like he's signing it for him. To me. To me, it don't. But this is definitely a mess. You all have to really be careful out here until, this look like it blows over or something. That would be my advice to you right now. Why the block is so hot, It's really hot right now. Really, okay? For you young people, this is probably hotter than you've ever seen. That's why Trump said we're going to lose some people. He said we're gonna have some casualties. I said, wow. He actually told them. That was deep. Did y'all see when he said there's going to be casualties? I said, wow. I guess he figured he might as well break the news to you rather than, you getting it the hard way, I guess. I guess that was the logic behind it. But definitely be careful. Be careful when you're out there moving around. Traveling. If you could reschedule your trip, I would do that. Because between what's going on in Mexico and Iran, I don't know. I would definitely cancel my trip right now. I wouldn't want to be, I wouldn't want to be out there right now. I don't think. You got any questions? We can do some questions before we end. Things is crazy. 9 Israelis unalived, 11 missing, dozens injured after Iranian missile hits Beit Shemesh building. At least 4 apartment buildings destroyed. Missiles reportedly penetrated local shelter. Several children reported wounded. Second impact registered in central Israel. I mean, this is real serious. I will surely be over here all day. It's almost 1 o'clock, and there's no way I'm not going to be over here at least 2 to 4 times today. I kid you not. And in the comments and in the chat, posts any news update, right? Any news update, post in the chat or in the comment. Oh, his son is the leader now? Okay. Thanks for that information, fam. Is this going to be happening every year? We haven't had a peaceful year in the world for a while. Is Iran wrong for responding? I wouldn't say Iran is wrong for responding, but if you commit the genocide and unalive 7,000 of your own people, and America is your enemy, of course America is going to try to take advantage of the destabilization of your own country. And America is going to try to get rid of you, hoping that the millions of people that hate you now take the country from you. So Iran, by unaliving 7,000 of their own people and pissing off millions of Iranians, opened themselves up for America to try to help Iranians that oppose this political regime. Of course, they're going to try to help those people overthrow you because had spent American troops can't go in Iran because it's surrounded by it's surrounded, right, by mountains, so they can't send in foot soldiers and overthrow it. So they feel if they could knock the regime and the military down enough, the opposition in Iran will overthrow it. Because what a lot of people don't know is there's 2 Irans. And there's an Iran that want the Ayatollah and them out of there. And they was pushing, and they was pushing hard. Imagine how hard they was pushing for them to unalive 7,000 of their own people. That mean their own people was a threat from getting rid of that regime. So the question is, should that regime get out the way? Because if they had to unalive 7,000 of their own citizens, that means the people is sick of them. That means that most of the people want them out of here, but they're afraid of the ones that got the guns. And y'all know a lot of times the ones that got the guns be trying to tell all the rest of us what to do. A lot of times these countries, the whole country don't like them. But because they got the military, they could force all the citizens to go along with whatever they're doing. Yeah, a lot of Iranians, yeah, they don't like him. So while some people trying to blame America, America's taking advantage militarily and strategically to get rid of the enemy. They willing to go back into peace talk with Trump. If you are alive 7,000 of your own people, and we already started attacking you, we don't want to talk to you. Ain't no peace. Head spin? I wouldn't. No, we're going to blow you up. Get out. Only thing I would have to say, Iran, step down. All of y'all step down and turn over your weapons. It's too late. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all done unalive. Y'all had opposition. Imagine we all went to Washington and marched against Trump, right? Because we ain't like something he did. And he shot us all. He shot he unalived 7,000 of us. Just let that sink in. Imagine Americans want to have a big protest, so they go to Washington, D.C., because they want changes, because something Trump did. And imagine if he had the military unalive 7,000 Americans. That's unalive. If he unalive 7,000, how many did he wound? Probably another 3,000 got wounded. Nobody gonna leave that dude, leave them in office. Because I agree with Trump and the Iranians. They gotta go. Y'all unalive 7,000 of y'all own citizens. Y'all gotta go. And then people want to say Islam, but they unalive 7,000 Muslims. Not one Muslim brother came over here and said that. Everybody in the country is Muslim. So if he unalive 7,000 people, he unalived 7,000 Muslims and hurt who knows how many. So what do religion got to do with it? When you're an Islamic country and you unalive 7,000 Islamic, and right, 14,000 grieving parents, if the parents didn't get hurt too. Think about it. The media, that didn't come from the American media, that came from over there. That didn't come from American media, that came from over there. That came from them countries over there next to them. Hey, here go a thing too. Here go another thing too. Hey, Adriana, wouldn't you have made a statement denouncing it? Right? If you was Iran and you ran that country, wouldn't you put out the actual figures and explain what really happened? See what I'm saying? Or you would just let that float like that? Because me, I'd be like, well, I ain't did no 7,000 people over there. This many people got hurt. It was a protest like this and this happened. Obviously, they can't explain it because they was bogus. That's it. Hey, Adriana, obviously they can't explain it. Any other country would have said, no, that's a lie. The Nazis did say we was bullies, but then that wasn't even America's war. He was attacking Russia. Hitler was attacking Russia, Britain, Italy, Poland. He wasn't even attacking the U.S. America went to help Russia. When America got in the war, the Germans had invaded Russia. And most of the fighting was right there with Americans, was right there on the German-Russian border, on that border. Remember, they was blowing England up. England was in bunkers. I think Winston Churchill and them was They was down in bunkers, and the Queen and them was had to be in bunkers. He attacked Europe. America went to save Europe. World War One too, with the French and all of them. But them Europeans over there acting a fool if somebody got to come help them, and then they say you the bullies. You the bullies. But everybody left Europe and came to America and started America. This is how they do black people too. All them Europeans ran over here and started this country, right? How could some Europeans say somebody's bullies when the Europeans came and took this from the Native Americans? You see how they got, you know what I'm saying? How could Europeans call anybody anything? Then they done bullied the whole world. With all due respect, how did y'all become American? That wasn't bullying. It ain't a bunch of French and Italians and Germans and Polish people over here. Ain't that the ones that came over here? Ain't that the immigrants that came on the Mayflower? I'm just saying. I thought European immigrants came over here. You know what I'm saying? And I thought y'all was over here fighting the French and the Spanish too. They was over here. Y'all was all fighting for somebody else's land, if I ain't mistaken. If I ain't mistaken. If I ain't mistaken, the British control Jamaica and the Caribbean. And if I'm not mistaken, how you gonna call somebody a bully? If I ain't mistaken, you invaded Africa. If I ain't mistaken, Europeans was in South Africa. I don't know. I don't know who's a bully. I don't know. But yes, post any updates anytime we go on live in the chat, and post updates in the comment section. And I might as well end this live because I'll probably be off for 30 minutes and go and find out they're acting a fool somewhere else. Oh my God. Should I had really signed up for this job? I don't know. You see how God works in mysterious ways and put you in stuff. I ain't gonna say God did it, but somebody got me doing this. Because when I said I was gonna do the news, they hadn't did all this yet. Can you imagine? I said, "Oh, I'm gonna do the news," but I didn't know I was gonna be Ted Koppel, or I didn't know I was gonna be none of them. I didn't know I was really gonna be CNN. You know, I'm thinking, oh, every now and then there'll be a news story I talk about. I didn't know they was gonna go to war. My doggone news segment that took over my other conversation. I don't even get to talk about none of the other stuff I want to talk about. Because fast I get off of here, they doing something else. This is crazy. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I'm finna hire a bunch of y'all too. We're gonna expand the news team. I'm finna hire Alexis and a couple of y'all, and we're gonna have everybody over here talking. It's gonna get crazy. So we're gonna expand this news program. So yeah, if you interested in the news program, let me know. DM me on Instagram or go in the chat and email me and let me know. I'm gonna add some people to the news channel. We need it. We got to be able to tell our own news. We can't be waiting on them. They take too long. Alexis sent me all this stuff. She owned it. Yeah, this is Alexis' fault. This live is her fault, right? If you mad, you blame her because she sent me all this. I love you, Alexa. You cool. Alexis, this is her fault. Don't y'all blame me today. I'm gonna show you the culprit. There's the culprit behind this today. Yeah, don't y'all blame me. Talking about I'm on here too much. You blame her. All right. So positive energy all the time. And this was the news.